This is going to be a wonderful video. In today's conversation, I want to review Fundera by NerdWallet. Don't go anywhere because you might actually go through this platform to actually borrow up to $10 million in business loans with a FICO score that starts at 500. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweater Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Now let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about Fundera by NerdWallet, and this is actually an in-depth review, and through this platform, you can actually borrow up to $10 million in business loans. Let me first give you an overview. So when we talk about Fundera, what is it? This is basically a business funding matchmaker. Okay, so you are having a website that it's not a direct lender. Okay, it is a marketplace lender. So much like a loan broker, this company does not originate loans. Rather, it matches you up with other business funders you may be qualified for. Okay, so think about Fundera as a supermarket of lenders. Okay, and what we love about Fundera is that they are very selective about which business funders they partner with. So this is really good. Okay, and they have about 50 to 100 direct funders. I'm talking about banks, credit unions, and alternative lenders, even online lenders. So this is really good. And so when we talk about Fundera, you are thinking about a range of products, okay, including merchant cash advances, short-term loans, lines of credit, medium-term loans, SBA loans, equipment loans, invoice financing, and personal loans that can be used for business. So if you have let's say you have a sole proprietorship and you're looking for a personal loan to actually boost your business, Fundera can be a great platform. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that Fundera is great if you are completely overwhelmed by your options. Okay, it's a great place to start because they actually have not only the expertise, they have the financial advisors, they have the staff to help you go through the whole process, but they also have the products. So this is really good. Okay. We also love the fact that their service is transparent. That's really important because when you go out for a loan, you want a service provider, or you want to have a third party that is transparent. So we love that. And one thing I want to say here is that we also need to, if you're thinking about getting a loan through Fundera, please make sure that you speak with someone. It's important to, right off the bat, establish a relationship and speak with your financial advisor and have a conversation and talk about your business and talk about what kind of needs you have, what kind of funding needs you have. Okay, speak to someone. Don't just sign up, don't just fill out a form on the web and just wait for them to call you. Be proactive. You can email them, you can call them directly, okay, because it has to be a win-win situation. So Fundera, great place to start looking for business loans. I want to dig a little deeper into how the whole thing works, how the funding process works. Okay, it's not as complicated as you might think. Very easy. So you want to fill out one simple application. That's all. So you answer just a few questions about your business to see which lending products you qualify for. Okay, and we love the fact that Fundera will actually showcase leaders in every financial category. So you basically have the ability to get a loan from the best lender, or at least what they would think is the best lender for your particular business. It's important. So once you have that, what will happen is that a financial advisor or a funding advisor, that's the key, that's the right terminology here. A funding advisor will actually contact you because they will pair you up with an experienced funding advisor who will reach out to get to know your business. Okay, and this is kind of cool because Fundera understand that every business is unique, so they want to find a product that's perfectly tailored to your needs. And so once they contact you, they will go back and see what kind of options are available for you. Okay, you don't have to do it; they will do it for you. And the best thing is, it's free. Okay, they have technology in the background that does things automatically. Okay, and so once they've done the research for you, they will show you the offers. They will show you multiple offers together. Okay, so your funding advisor will walk you through the details of your offers And so the bottom line is that your advisor will help you make sense of the numbers, because sometimes this can be a little crazy, right? They just show you numbers, blah 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 blah, but you have someone to actually walk you through the numbers and explain to you what those numbers means, and what kind of advantages you can derive from those numbers. Okay, and then you choose your best fit lending product. So you choose what really makes sense for you. Okay, so this is what it is. One thing I want to say here is that the bottom line is Fundera is there to help you out. Okay, they don't charge you anything. No. Now you might be thinking, how do they make money? Well, the bottom line here is that they are making money through commissions from the lender, and in some cases they might actually bombard you with some marketing material. But that's how they make money. They don't make money through you. They make money through the lender. Okay, and the bottom line is that they are on your side, because it has to be a win-win situation for them. Because if you succeed, they are making money, right? If you get a loan, they're making money, so they have to help you get that loan. Speaking of loans, what kind of loan types do you have with Fundera? Let's go through the typology, the loan typology here, folks. So I think I've said it before, okay? Fundera is not a direct lender. So don't go to Fundera and think, hey, listen, can I see your balance sheet? I just have, I'm looking for $1 million in loan, and you guys can probably help me. No, they are a marketplace lender. They are a business funding matchmaker. Okay, so this is actually an online service. Everything happens online. You don't have to go to Fundera's. By the way, it's Fundera's by NerdWallet, because they were actually acquired by NerdWallet not long ago. So you don't go to their office and say, I want to sit down with you and have a conversation with the loan rep. No, the funding advisor will contact you. So when we talk about Fundera, we have actually a wide constellation of loans. Okay, they offer SBA loans, short-term loans, invoice financing, equipment financing, merchant cash advances, long-term loans, lines of credit. Okay, some business lenders that Fundera might match you with include Bluevine, Credibly, On Deck, Fundbox, and others. We have actually reviewed a lot of them on this show already. Okay, one thing you need to understand is that you will not have to pay a fee directly to Fundera at any point during the process. I want to really clarify that, because a lot of folks sit there, they're just kind of scared because they think, well, Fundera will charge me a lot of cash because I cannot afford their service. They're not charging you anything, boss. They're not charging you anything, so you have nothing to lose. Okay, you work with them, and they get compensated by the lender. Okay, so when we talk about installment loans, what are we talking about? We're talking about a loan in which you get a lump sum. In exchange, you will make regular payments, okay, usually monthly, but sometimes weekly, until you have paid off your loan plus interest, okay? And installment loans typically have terms longer than a year. We also have short-term loans. Those can be a good, if expensive, way to get money in a hurry. A line of credit, well, if you will be approved for a credit limit, which represents the maximum amount of money you can borrow within your term, actually, okay? And during that time, you can draw up your line of credit in whatever increment you want, as often as you want, so long as the total amount borrowed does not exceed your credit limit. You only pay interest on the amount that you have borrowed. It's kind of similar to a credit card, okay? And you also have equipment loans. So those are very similar to installment loans, with one major difference, because the loan is specifically used to purchase the equipment, and so the equipment you are buying actually acts as collateral security for the loan. Okay, and you also have SBA loans. Those are loans that are backed by the United States government through the SBA, the Small Business Administration. And this is kind of cool because you can also get those loans also through Fundera by NerdWallet. So the question is, I've been telling you all this kind of stuff, it's all good. What about the pros and cons? Okay, let's just dig a little deeper here. So when we talk about pros and cons, the pros, you have multiple types of financing available. So you have a large constellation of loans, okay? The website advertising is clear and informative. We believe that they're very transparent here. If you go to their website, everything is clear and transparent, okay? You know exactly what you're getting yourself into, okay? No surprise, they're not playing games with you. Okay, their customer service is helpful, and you have multiple avenues of customer support, including the funding advisor they will pay you up with. Okay, and what about the cons here? Rates can be expensive, and they do charge some additional fees depending on the loan. Some because some transactions are complicated. So depending on the loan, they might charge you an some fee. Okay. Now, what about so they have reviews, positive reviews, and testimonials. One thing you need to understand is that if you go to Trustpilot, they have more than 800 to 850 reviews as of the date of this show, and they have an excellent rating. 4.7 out of 5. This is really good, okay? And Fundera actually loved the customers who actually reviewed Fundera positively, loved a few things about their service. So they talk about informative website, easy to use customer interface, helpful customer service, fast time from application to funding. Okay, they're really good at that. They're constantly innovating. We love that, and what we love is the fact that they are transparent. Okay, so you know exactly how much you're getting, the offers, if you have to pay something, whatever. They are very upfront with that, so we love it. And let's just kind of quickly go through some of the negative reviews and complaints. So if you go to Facebook, Trustpilot, and other online platform, including Reddit, some people have actually criticized Fundera by NerdWallet, and people have said that you have limited funding options. Okay, so in other words, based on their particular business, based on the kind of financing they want, they were not offered a lot of funding options. People also have said that they were denied after pre-approval. In other words, you just go through the system. They do a soft pull and they pre-approved you, and then afterwards, when you go through the whole process, the whole hard pull process, you are denied. People have also said that there are high interest rates and other fees, and some commenters, some people have said that sometimes you have unresponsive customer service. We believe that overall, those positive comments and negative comments should be taken into context. But overall, Fundera by NerdWallet is a solid, legit company you can actually trust if you are looking for business loans. Let's just talk about eligibility, folks. Okay, what are the borrower qualifications? So if you have made your mind and you have made up your mind and you are trying to really work with Fundera, there are a few things you need to know. You need to understand. Fundera actually works with a large catalog of funders. Okay, so they don't have any specific requirements regarding how long you have to be in business, how much revenue you need to make, your personal credit score, or any other business characteristics. Okay, we have seen in our research that if you have a FICO score that starts at 500, you could qualify for a loan through Fundera. One thing that's really important, you need to understand that each of Fundera's partner has its own requirements regarding business characteristics. Okay, and so you can be eligible for certain products with one lender and not be eligible through another lender. It's really, things happen on a case by case basis. Okay, and if you make an account, let's say you just open an account with Fundera and you find that you are not eligible for the products you are interested in, Fundera offers an eligibility tracker that can inform you when you do qualify for new products. This is really good because you are basically kept in the loop. Okay, so when we talk about eligibility for business loans through Fundera in general, not about a particular lender, but in general, you have to think about time in business, your personal credit score. They ask sometimes for a business credit score. Sometimes they want to see your annual business revenue and profit, bank statements. Here, I'm giving you the general requirements, okay, that apply across the board for all lenders, okay. Just kind of give you an idea of what you should be expecting to provide in terms of a paperwork. And some lenders might ask you for your personal and business tax returns, so they might want to see your 1040 for the last 3 years, as well as your 1065 or 1120S or 1120C, okay? And they might ask you also the loan purpose for you to actually explain what you're going to use the money for, the desired loan amount, your business plan. Business plan is quite essential in a lot of cases because this kind of gives the lender a clear idea of what your business has been, where it is right now and where it is going. Okay, the industry, the entity type. Are you a C corp? Are you an S corp? Are you an LLC, LP, LLP, whatever structure you want to choose? Okay, and they might ask you for an EIN, business licenses and permits, proof of collateral in some cases if you have to secure the loan, especially for example for equipment financing. They might want to see your balance sheet also, copies of your commercial lease, disclosure of other debts. Okay, the commercial lease is really important because it tells the lender that you are a solid company. You're not actually you have an office. Okay, you have a headquarter. Sometimes they might want to see accounts receivable and accounts payable aging, ownership and affiliations, and legal contracts and agreements. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Security Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about Fundera by NerdWallet. This is an in-depth review, just kind of give you an idea of what this lender is about. And I want to talk about the application. So the thing here is that you apply online, okay? And Fundera provide a very comprehensive explanation of the application process on its website. Everything happens online, okay? They're not going to ask you a gazillions of questions, no. So to begin the process, you need to create an account. So once you create an account, you need to fill out a short questionnaire about the age of your business. How long have you been in business? And don't worry though, folks, they also accept startups. They are startup friendly, not a problem. Remember, they deal with a lot of lending partners, and it's up to the lending partner to decide whether or not they want to work with you, okay? Fundera, through their questionnaire, will also ask about the annual revenue of your business. Okay, your personal credit score. When we talk about annual revenue, though, this can be projected or actual. So if you prepare a solid business plan, you can project your sales. Okay, you can, let's say you have been in business for less than a year, you have been in business for 6 months or 5 months or 9 months, whatever. You can actually project, you can extrapolate your revenue information up to for 1 year. Okay, they might ask you for your personal credit score. Also, they'll ask you whether or not your business is profitable. So here we're talking about your statement of income, okay, statement of profit and loss, and they might ask you the industry you're in. So the thing is that Fundera will then use that information because they needed that information. Why? They will use that information for a lot of things. They'll use the information to match you up with the best lender. This is important, okay? They will see the conditions that are good for you. And one thing you need to understand is that all of this information is self-reported, okay? So you have to provide the info yourself. And so before Fundera approves you for financing, your information will need to be verified. They want to make sure that you are actually telling the truth. That's what it is, okay? This is why they have a funding advisor that reaches out to you. So that funding advisor will reach out to you and explain you the options that you have, educate you on the products, and help you determine which is right for your business. So this is really good. So this is the partner you want to have to help you understand what's really going on here, okay? One thing you need to understand is that you make sure that you have your bank statements. This is really important for the last 3 months. And we're talking about business checking accounts or business savings account, not personal, okay? And your tax returns, your credit card statements, especially if you're looking for merchant cash advances or you're looking for any kind of funding products that relies on your electronic sales. This is important to have. Your balance sheets and profit and loss statements, okay? And verification from your landlord if you rent office space. The whole thing here is that Fundera by NerdWallet just wants to make sure that you are a legit company, okay? And you cannot apply for this loan if you're a sole proprietorship. Normally you can, but it is difficult because they really want to do things on an EIN only basis, like trying to really separate your personal affairs from your business affairs. And but you could try if you're a sole proprietorship, but we have seen that it is not as easy to get a loan. It's just a lot better to have a legit business. Let me close this conversation by talking about support. So I've said right off the bat that Fundera is a great company, and we really believe that their sales and advertising transparency is really cool. I mean, we've seen that, and we have analyzed a lot of lenders on this show. But one thing we have seen with Fundera is that they are upfront with the fees. They are transparent. They'll tell you exactly how they make money. They will tell you what happened to your data. Okay, they're not selling your data to any third party. So they were very transparent. They will tell you how much APR you will be charged. They will tell you the fees, if any. Okay, and in terms of their customer service and technical support, great also. This is excellent. So customer service is available by phone, email, or live chat via the website. Okay. And what we love is that we have seen ourselves, and we have also read from others that a lot of people have reported positive experiences working with Fundera's representatives, okay? And most claim that their customer service was helpful, informative, and not pushy. This is really good. And Fundera also provides an in-depth FAQ section that covers many questions you may have about the process from application to repayments. This is really good, okay? And the platform also offers a well-populated resource center, including business loan calculators, lender reviews, financial templates, glossaries, and a host of other information about business loans and finances. So this is really good. So the bottom line for us is that when you think about Fundera, I really want you to think about an excellent resource to help you find the funding you need. Okay, so it's all about them doing it for you. So instead of sitting around and just browsing business loans, and where you have no idea of where to start or where to finish, it's just a lot better to go to a company that specializes in particularly the kind of stuff that you need to get done, right? And the fact that you have an expert to back you up, that really helps. And the good thing is, overall, it's free. They're not charging you anything, okay? They're not charging you anything, and it's really important that if you're a startup or an established business and you have no idea about business funding, it's because sometimes don't forget that the search for business funding is often a long, confusing, and arduous process. But with Fundera, you don't have to go it alone. They will do it for you. So overall, we believe that Fundera by NerdWallet is a solid company, a great player, and our score for this company, 9/10. Thank you, folks, for your attention to this conversation. I was talking to you about Fundera by NerdWallet. We have done a review. I've given you an overview. I've explained to you how things work, the loan types you may expect, the pros and cons, eligibility criteria, the application process, and the support. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.